Yo, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of the SWUS. Continuing on with NFL Week 11. Got what is probably the biggest game of the weekend here. Chiefs, Bills in Buffalo. Let's do it.
Welcome to the SWUS. The SWUS. SWUS. Hey, get the SWUS.
All right, like I said, Chiefs are on the road in Buffalo for this one. The Bills are laying 2 or 2.5. I see 2s, I see 2.5s, depending on your sports book. Total sitting at 46. I do see, pretty much 46 for the total. Let's take a look at the pie charts, and according to the data, action seems to be coming pretty heavily in on the Kansas City side. Over 80% of the tickets, over 70% of the money. As I always say, take this data with a grain of salt. So let's get into this one, and we'll start with some trends, and if you're betting the Chiefs, you're going to like these. As an underdog since 2018, Kansas City is 13-3-1 against the number. So if you've been blindly betting the Chiefs every time they're dogs, you're considerably up. Also, check this out. When they're on the road as underdogs, 11-0-1 against the number. So definitely a favorable trend there if you like Kansas City. Another trend that favors the Chiefs here, the road team has been very successful in this Chiefs-Bills rivalry. In the last 4 Chiefs-Bills game in Kansas City, the Bills are 3-1 against the number and 3-1 straight up. The last 4 matchups in Buffalo, the Chiefs are 4-0 straight up and 4-0 against the number. So the road team has been the side to be on in this head-to-head rivalry. But we are not interested in the past. We're talking about this matchup right now. So let's get into it. We'll start with the Kansas City offense against the Buffalo defense. These two units are pretty evenly matched on paper. I mean, we know the story when it comes to the Chiefs offense. They don't load up the stat sheet. They're not putting up amazing fantasy football scores. But look at the success rate. Second in overall success rates, 4th in success rate per dropback, 2nd in success rate per rush. They move the chains. They don't get off the field. They stay on the field. They keep the drive moving. That's what makes them so great this year. Matched up against the Bills defense, that's been pretty solid. I mean, it's not top 5 defense or anything, but it's probably close to being a top 10, top 12 defense in the NFL. They're 15th in yards per play, 12th in success rate, 9th in yards per pass attempt allowed, 20th in success rate per dropback, 30th in yards per carry allowed. But check this out, 6th in success rate per rush. So this, like I said, this Bills defense has been pretty solid. The question I have here, is Kansas City going to be able to run the ball in this game? Because Kareem Hunt joined the team, and for a few games, shit was looking sweet. It was like, Kareem Hunt's in midseason form. It was like he never left. They were averaging 144 rushing yards per game, 4.5 yards per carry, success rate per rush over 45%. But then look at his last 3 games. 88.7 rushing yards per game, 3.3 yards per carry, 33.2% success rate per rush. So the last 3 games, the run game hasn't really been there. And look at the opponents. Denver, okay. Denver's got a tough defensive front, but Tampa Bay, the Raiders, I mean, these are not good run defenses. So the Chiefs' run game, it looked like Kareem Hunt saved it for a few weeks there, but I don't have a ton of faith in it right now. And they're matched up against a Buffalo run defense. On the year, they don't have the most impressive numbers, but look at the last 4 games. They're allowing less than 99 rushing yards per game, 4.27 yards per carry, but check out the success rate, 32.8%. They do not let you move the chains on the ground. We just talked about how that's what the Chiefs excel at, moving the chains. So we're off to a pretty solid start here if you like the Bills. Chiefs' run game has not been very efficient. Bills have been playing the run well. I don't know if the Chiefs are going to be able to run the ball in this one. Now, you can point at this if you like the Chiefs to run the ball in this game. They actually lead the league in yards per carry out of gap concept blocking schemes, and they run a lot of those. That happens to play into the weakness of this Bills run defense. They're much stronger against zone blocking schemes. It's pretty thin. I personally don't think there's enough evidence here to warrant the Chiefs running the ball in this game. But, I mean, it's something if you're looking for something. Another thing you can point at if you like the Chiefs to run the ball is the fact that the offensive line is completely healthy. Obviously, there's no Pacheco. There's still no Rashee Rice. But the starting 5 on the offensive line are completely healthy for the Chiefs. That being said, I mean, Buffalo's defensive front is in pretty good shape also. They are missing Milano, obviously. He's been out forever. Inspector's going to miss this one as well. So they're missing a linebacker, but Buffalo's got one of the best defensive lines in the entire NFL. And also, Von Miller's not even pictured in this graphic. They have Von Miller coming off the bench as well. So, I don't know. I personally don't think the Chiefs are going to be able to run the ball in this game. So why don't we take a look at the matchup for Patrick Mahomes against this Bills secondary? He does have great career numbers against this Buffalo team, completing over 68% of his passes. This is in 7 career starts against the Bills. Completing over 68% of his passes, 289.1 yards per game, 15 touchdowns to 5 picks, a 101.3 passer rating. So solid career numbers against the Bills. And actually, he's been more efficient against the Bills in his 2 road games. Of the 7 career starts against Buffalo, only 2 of them have been on the road in Buffalo. In those 2 games, he completed over 77% of his passes, just 220 yards per game, which is weird because in those 2 games, the Chiefs were able to run the ball efficiently. That's actually interesting. One was Clyde Edwards-Helaire back in 2020, and then the playoff game, Pacheco had a big game running the ball. So both of Mahomes' road games against the Bills, the Chiefs offense was leaning on the run game, and we just went through it. I don't know if the Chiefs are going to be able to run the ball in this one. So in these 2 road games against Buffalo, Mahomes dropped back to pass, I think it was 23 times and 26 times. He may have to drop back to pass more than that in this one. But regardless, he was incredibly efficient in these 2 road games against Buffalo. 4 touchdowns, no picks, a 131.3 passer rating. So he's had no problems making throws on this Bills team in the past. As far as the coverage matchup, the Bills are 8th in zone frequency, 9th in cover 2 frequency, 4th in 2 high safety frequency. So a decent amount of cover 2, decent amount of zone, a lot of 2 high safety looks. Let's take a look at Mahomes' numbers against those coverages. Slightly better against man this year, which is actually the opposite of what it was last year. So the Bills run a decent amount of zone. Mahomes slightly better against man, slightly worse against zone. Nothing really there, kind of thin. What about cover 2? Patrick Mahomes against cover 2 amongst 41 qualified quarterbacks this year. 16th in completion percentage, 21st in yards per attempt, 26th in passer rating. So okay, struggles a little bit against cover 2. Bills run a lot of cover 2. There's something. What about 2 high safety looks? 22nd in completion percentage, 25th in yards per attempt, 30th in passer rating. So struggles against 2 high safety looks. Maybe not the best matchup on paper for Patrick Mahomes here, especially when we don't know if he's going to have run support. And this is a Buffalo defense that's been playing solid defense against the pass. In their last 4 games, they're allowing just 232.5 passing yards per game, 7.1 yards per attempt. Look where they struggle, though. Success rate, the Chiefs' specialty, getting off the field. That's where the Bills struggle. 58.4% success rate per dropback is actually bad. So although it's a bad matchup on paper for Patrick Mahomes, although the Bills have been playing solid defense against the pass, I still think Mahomes and the Chiefs offense are going to find ways to move the chains because they always do. It's not always pretty, but they find ways to stay on the field and keep the chains moving. Overall, on this side of the field, though, I do think the Chiefs offense might be in a bit of trouble here, like we just went through. This is a tough matchup on paper. I'm sure they'll find ways to get the ball down the field and put points up, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Chiefs offense is struggling through a lot of this game. But what about the matchup on the other side? Let's take a look at the matchup for the Bills offense. Definitely a top 10 offense, maybe even a top 5 offense. 8th in yards per play, 7th in success rate. As far as passing, 10th in yards per pass attempt, 8th in success rate per dropback. Rushing, 14th in yards per carry, 9th in success rate per rush. 2nd, 3rd, and 3rd in EPA. This is a very efficient Bills offense. Obviously, we know this is a Bills offense that wants to run the ball first, which could definitely be crucial in this matchup because the Chiefs' defense is elite against the run. They have one of the best run defenses in the NFL. Kansas City this year, 2nd in yards per carry allowed, 3rd in success rate per rush, 4th in EPA, 3rd in DVOA against the run. So not a great look there for the Bills. We know Joe Brady wants to run the ball. Are they going to be able to against this elite Chiefs run defense? Well, if we look at the matchup in the trenches here, it's going to be tough. Look at the Chiefs defensive line. They're 6th in adjusted line yards, 4th in run defense grade, 3rd in yards before contact. I don't know if Buffalo is going to be able to generate consistent push in this game. So which of these 2 units is going to give here? In the last 3 games, Kansas City is allowing 3.3 yards per carry as a team. 24.1% success rate per rush is crazy. Nobody's moving the chains against Kansas City on the ground. Just 69 rushing yards allowed per game. And yeah, I know the Raiders are in there, but Denver's been running the ball a little bit, and the Bucs have been running the shit out of the ball. So this Chiefs run defense is on fire right now. But look at the right side of this graphic. The Bills in their last 3 games, 5 yards per carry as a team, over 132 rushing yards per game, 45.7% success rate per rush. So which of these is going to give here? Are the Bills going to be able to run the ball or not? Really tough to make a call. So why don't we look at the matchup for Josh Allen and the Bills passing attack? Well, just like Patrick Mahomes, he's done well in this rivalry. I guess we can call it a rivalry. They've had some big games. In his career against the Chiefs, over 61% completions, over 257 yards per game, 16 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, a 98.3 passer rating. So he's played well against the Chiefs, just like Mahomes has played well against the Bills. Chiefs run a lot of man coverage, 36.6% of the time. That's 6th most in the NFL. Josh Allen, better numbers against man coverage, 10th, 6th, and 12th in yards per attempt, passer rating, turnover-worthy play rate, better than against zone coverage. So, okay, solid start for Josh Allen. Also, what does Spagnuolo do? Blitzes a lot. Third in the NFL in blitz rate, so we know the Chiefs are going to be sending blitzes after Josh Allen. Josh Allen, much better when blitzed. Yards per attempt, PFF passer grade, turnover-worthy play rate, and passer rating when blitzed, 7th, 10th, 3rd, and 4th. So a top 10, maybe even a top 5 quarterback against the blitz. When not blitzed, 18th, 18th, 34th, 19th. So, okay, looking like a pretty favorable matchup for Josh Allen. And this Chiefs pass defense, by the way, kind of trending in the wrong direction. In weeks 4 through 7 against the Saints, the Chargers, and the 49ers, they allowed just 191 passing yards per game, 6.2 yards per attempt, an average opponent pass rating of just 68.9. So the Chiefs were playing elite defense against the pass through that little stretch. But look at the 3 games since then against the Bucs, the Broncos, and the Raiders. So it's not like they played elite offenses. I mean, the Bucs are pretty nice, but the Raiders and the Broncos, just 208 passing yards per game, 7 yards per attempt, an average opponent pass rating of 116.4, and look at the success rate. 59.1% success rate per dropback. So this Kansas City pass defense, like I said, definitely trending in the wrong direction. And we're talking about Josh Allen at home in Buffalo, where he's been a monster. On the season at home in Buffalo, the Bills are averaging 264 passing yards per game, 8.4 yards per attempt, success rate per dropback over 74%. That is crazy. That's Madden on rookie numbers there, 74.6%, an average passer rating of 123.4. Josh Allen has been a monster at home in Buffalo. So to reiterate everything we just went through, Josh Allen has great history against the Chiefs. Chiefs run man coverage. Josh Allen's better against man coverage. Chiefs blitz a lot. Josh Allen's better against the blitz. Chiefs pass defense has not played well in the last 3 weeks. And Josh Allen at home, where he's much better. That's a lot of favorable angles for Josh Allen in this spot. Looks like a great matchup for Josh Allen. I like him to have a big game in this one, which is why I know this sounds crazy to fade Patrick Mahomes as an underdog, but I'm doing it. I took the Bills in this one. I laid it. Give me Buffalo -2. I know most of you are going to hate it. I'm on Josh Allen. Bills -2. Live shows this weekend. Saturday morning college football will be live from 10 a.m. up to kickoff. NFL Sunday will be live from 11 a.m. up to kickoff. If you're able to make, that's Eastern time, by the way. If you're able to make it, would love to see you in the comments. If you want to see all the bets I currently have open for this weekend, head over to KyleKirms.com and click on Open Bets. You'll see mine as well as everyone else on the staff here. Just sign up to Sauce Network Plus. Let's have ourselves a great weekend. Please remember to bet responsibly. Hit me up in the Discord if you need me.